because life is challenging, and I found on my own it is difficult, especially if you're in a job every day and you come back and you're exhausted and you're still wanting to bring through your gifts and your creativity, and you carving out a bit of time to do that. It can be heavy and challenging. So you need all the support you can get from friends, from yourself, to lift your energy up and to tell yourself you can do this. You can just take that next step every single day to be your own champion, that you can live your fullest life, bring through your soul essence, shine your light.
Hello everyone, welcome to the weekly Brew at Redefining Success with Emma and Iona.
Welcome everyone. So this is a space where we share with you our experimental journey that we're on to grow a business that's rooted in joy, abundance and creativity.
Yeah, welcome. So what's brewing today?
So what's brewing today for me and for Emma actually is self-love, isn't it? Just
self-love, self-care, how we nurture ourselves as we're on this journey.
Yeah. And I think for me, what I absolutely love is how Emma and I are like our biggest fans. Yeah. We really are. And we do things and we're like, oh, that was great. You know, and even when it wasn't great, there's the silence, and we don't say, you know, that wasn't great. We just say, that was great. So I love that. I love that we're just supporting each other to be creative. And the stuff that we're making is far from perfect. But there's something about just showing up, and you get better as you go.
You really do, don't you?
And we certainly have.
Yeah, we think. We hope.
Well, I was looking at the videos. I was looking at the video, our first videos, and it was like, oh my goodness. So I think for me, I definitely feel more natural on camera, more comfortable. And there's something about just starting doing something.
There is, isn't it?
And just showing up.
Yeah. So it's that thing of feeling the fear and doing it anyway, isn't it? And showing up, and actually there is self-care in it, because when you're showing up and you've never done anything like this before, but you know you want to, but you don't know how to, and like with us, we've had a lot of tech to figure out, and other things along the way that might have been obstacles previously where we'd have pulled back and thought, oh, I don't think I can do that. Because we're showing up for each other, we're also showing up for ourselves as well as for all of you. We're supporting each other, and it's like an alchemical. It's like alchemy, isn't it? So that infuses us with the desire to do more. It also nurtures us. We're telling each other we're great all the time, whether we are or not. And actually, we could just reframe it and say we are great through the ups and downs, through the failures, through the successes, and that everything is perfect just the way it is. Yeah,
and I think there is that connection to the quantum where you say, this is what we're doing, we are great, we're enjoying it, and we really are enjoying it, but there's something about practicing being what you want to become and living in the energy of what you want to become that starts to feel so joyful and brings us into that place of what we are imagining, what we envisioning as we practice being it. So yeah, supporting each other just to show up every week with that consistency. I think that consistency has been so key for us as well, because it's sending that message to the universe, you know, this is what we want, and we keep showing up, we keep getting better, we keep learning. And it's a journey. It's a journey to grow into our fullness, to give ourselves permission to mess up, to give ourselves permission to learn, but to have fun bringing through our own creativity, which we don't know fully what that looks like, because it's changed so much from when we started and where we thought we were going. And it continues to evolve. And I love this. It is a creative journey, a journey with our creativity. And it's just a beautiful process to be in, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. And I love the unfolding of it and the unknown of it, that we definitely have ideas about places we want to go, things we want to do, things we want to bring to you, or things we want to share. And we are, for me, if I see it as an abundant whole, then all of that is available in the whole. So you can imagine it like say a Golden Globe Award. I'm thinking more
Go
of
for
it,
it, Emma.
Yeah, exactly. Woo! And within that is the all and the everything, and so therefore everything's accessible to us. And within that, we've got our own individual ideas and dreams, but we've got our shared ones, the things that Iona and I both want to do together on this journey with redefining success. And so the more we dream into that, and the more it becomes like visceral, and so it goes from being an idea, oh, I'd love to travel to that place, I'd love to do this. The more we're dreaming it, the more you can really feel it and embody it, and then it becomes real. And now it's like, oh, I'm really looking forward to when we go to Italy, or when we go and we do this. And I love that process. I'm really starting to see the energetics and the alchemy of manifestation in that form. And for me, with self-love, that does come hand in hand with self-love, because without self-love, there's no belief that your dreams can come true, really, because life is really tough otherwise.
Yeah, and I think for me, it's knowing that not everyone's going to like you. Half the people or more out there are going to possibly, have all opinions about you.
Yeah.
And some people are going to love you, but we are not doing it for other people's opinions. And I think that's where self-love comes in. It's like I'm showing up for my own soul, for my own creativity, to bring through what I'm here to bring through, to shine my own light. That's why I'm showing up. And in doing that is the best way I can serve the whole, by being true to myself.
Yeah.
So it's not caring about other people's opinions, but really being there solidly for yourself. And this morning I had a beautiful example of waking up in a bit of a heavy mood. So it's not always being up, but feeling, I'm feeling a little bit insecure. I've got a lot going on, and I just kind of need some holding right now, and I'm like, well, how can I give that to myself? And I had this moment of almost seeing into a mirror. I have a very active third eye, so I see visions a lot, and I could see my soul almost, or myself looking at myself above me, above my bed. And it was so emotional, actually, to be looking into my own soul eyes and knowing that who I needed most this morning was that connection with my own soul self. And I realized how that soul self has been with me, has been my greatest supporter, is the aspect that I love and cherish more than anything. And when I was born, it was there. When I die, in the moments when I die and I leave this body, that soul self is going to be with me. And it's that voice that's with me and says, Iona, you can do it. Iona, I've got you. I know it's hard today, but I've got you. Just take the next step. Come into the present. See what you can notice that's beautiful, that you can be grateful for. It's that voice that constantly tells me I can do it, that tells me I'm worthy, that tells me that I love myself. And I'm so, so grateful for that deep relationship with myself that is so nourishing and so supportive. Because if we can't be that for ourselves, then, what have we got? Because we can't rely on others to be that for us. It might be good when they are, but what we can do is rely on ourselves to be that voice, our biggest champion.
Yeah. And that's so it's like filling our pot. We've got, if you could imagine yourself as like a beautiful container, your whole body is a container, and if you fill that up, then it can overflow, and you can give, and the more that you give yourself, the more it overflows and you can give to others. And then so I think years ago I didn't really understand that. I thought, well, I can go on an empty pot, I can still give, but that's when you start to get drained and when your energy drops, and it's very difficult to top yourself up. But if you're coming from a place of your pot is full, or it might go down a bit here and there, but you can come back to it and still nourish it with whatever works for you. Some people that might be a walk. For me, it's often the ocean. It might be you buy yourself a cake, or it could be you take a bath, or you just sit for 2 minutes outside. It doesn't really matter what it is. That doesn't matter. What is key is that even if you do 1 minute of self-nourishment, self-love a day, that begins those tiny incremental steps to filling up your beautiful, abundant pot. And I think we've worked super hard on that over the years. I know for me it's been a really huge journey to come to the point of understanding, actually I need to be really full so that I can overflow and give love, and then receive love, and also receive holding, because we know that, or certainly Iona and I feel and believe that the universe is abundant and flows eternally and infinitely. So if we take that as a given, then we are also part of that. So we have the potential to eternally flow and be full and infinitely give and receive. And somehow we get bogged down as humans with that, and things get drained, or we get drained by people. But if we come back to that point of, say, it could be a truth, it's a truth for me. So if I come back to that point, then some way I'm going to be held. And it might be like we had massive tech problems yesterday, and someone now has shown up to say, oh, I can really support you in that. So that's like, wow, okay, yeah, we spent 2.5 hours doing something, our brains were frazzled by the end of it, and then someone has just said, don't worry, I can help you through this. So things like that, rather than thinking, God, I've got to plough away at this for days and days, and it's, so there is trust, but the more that we love ourselves, nourish ourselves, nurture that eternal flow within, the more things come, the more the abundance flows. So, and that's the step in trust, which we're learning. It's always an evolution. There's never an end point. We're all here continually flowing. The river continually flows to the sea. The oceans go back up to the heavens, the skies, it comes back down. So, that's the point for me, is the deepening into that trust of the flow.
Yeah, and I would also add awareness. So just awareness of the voice that's your own voice, and how you speak to yourself. And I know with me, if I say something unkind to myself, which is not very often these days, but every now and then, that voice may say something unkind, and I'll catch it immediately, and I'll say, and I'll change it, and I'll change it to something kind. And even if it's just a little bit framed in a different way, or a voice that's more encouraging. So just to have that awareness around how you talk to yourself, and what is that voice, and shifting it to a voice that's kind and supportive and loving. And what I love, Emma, in business and how we're doing it, is that I feel we're doing this for each other. We are bringing the self-love that we have for ourselves into almost the container of being that love for each other, that champion. In the same way we champions for ourselves, we champions for each other. It's like, come on, you can do that. Yeah, that's great. And that energy of upliftment, of lifting each other up, so that we can bring through our fullness. Because life is challenging, and I found on my own it is difficult, especially if you're in a job every day and you come back and you're exhausted and you're still wanting to bring through your gifts and your creativity, and you carving out a bit of time to do that. It can be heavy and challenging. So you need all the support you can get from friends, from yourself, to lift your energy up, and to tell yourself you can do this. You can just take that next step every single day to be your own champion, that you can live your fullest life, bring through your soul essence, shine your light. And I really feel that that's the iteration that we're at now as a collective, isn't it? Where we have this opportunity to all access our own creativity. We've got the internet, we've got technology that can support us again to fully reach the world, to be whatever we want to be. And we don't have to sell our labor in the way we used to in the past.
No.
I was listening to Daniel Priestley.
Yeah, on Diary of a CEO.
That's right, who was saying that the old way was selling our labor in exchange for a living. But now, this is all shifting in where we are today, where we have the power. We have the power at our fingertips to bring through our creativity, to reach people. And it is about doing that now so that we can bring through our creative ideas and add to the collective pot and the joy and the abundance. Because when we create, we're adding to the pot. As Daniel Priestley says, we're adding to the economy. We're not trying to take from it our little slice, but we're adding to it through our creativity, through our imagination, through our fullness. And in that way, abundance grows for all of us, for the collective.
Yeah, it does. And so what is important in that then is that we and you, if there's something burning within you, something you've always wanted to do, or there's a spark of, I'd like to make a little video here, or whatever it is that you want, or I want to go out and I want to create a startup somewhere, or I want to volunteer and do something, whatever it is, there's something burning in you, take the step to do it. And if, like Iona was describing, you get those unkind thoughts coming through, which we all do, it's like this chattering mind talk that wants to keep us safe and help us survive in the world. It's very primal, and on some level does a good job, but it doesn't serve us in our creativity, because it's a hindering force. It tells us we can't do stuff because it's too scary, it's too dangerous. And then we have to come back to that childlike state, the natural curiosity of the child and the play and the wonderment. And a child will just step out. It will go to a flower, it will smell a flower, it will look at a bug, it will sit under a tree, it will run around very carefree, without care in the world. So it's those kind of energies that we're all working with. And just take a moment. If you find those things coming up, if your body feels uncomfortable, think, what's that about? Listen to the thoughts that accompany it, and then you can literally negate them. Oh, I'm so stupid. Are you really stupid? Probably not. I would say fundamentally no. And you could that's gone then in a second. Find ways to prove that you're super intelligent, you're super clever, you're super creative, you're super joyful. Find ways to start showing yourself that, if I go and sit in the garden with a cup of tea, I love it. And then that brings you joy. And these things can be very simple, but if they're burning within you, do them. And then that starts to reaffirm all the good, yummy things about you, and starts to tell the other bit about in your brain, that's actually not true.
And the interview that we did with Jackie Juno this week, which we'll be sharing soon, was very much, her message was how play is at the center of creativity. Our inner child is at the center of our creativity. And to go back to find our creativity is to go back to find our inner child. I'm definitely finding that. As I'm journeying into creativity, I'm going back to things that I loved as a child. And it is like the Fool card in the tarot. It's stepping off the cliff and saying, I'm going anyway because it feels good and it's wonderful. So the child just plays and it creates in the moment. It's very present. It isn't in the mind thinking, is this going to sell? Is this what my customers want? It isn't. That is not, that's structure. And we were saying yesterday that there's a difference between our creative core, which is our child, which just plays, it's free, it's messy, it does what it wants, it doesn't need to know where it's going, it doesn't have rules around its creativity, it stays with its joy and with what feels good. And then you get the adult, which is the one that comes in with the structure, and the adult can create a good business strategy, can do all the tech and put all that in place so that the child's creativity can be funneled into beautiful offerings for the world that can be sold, that can bring an income to support that flow of giving and receiving. So this is all where the adult can work with the child, but the child is where the creativity happens. And learning to get back to our child, to allow it to play, to allow it to not know. As Emma and I have done, it's like, let's follow our joy, let's go out into nature. And we didn't know where this business was going in the beginning. We literally had that seed. Let's go, and we need to find out who we are. We need to find out our true voice. We need to find out what's burning in us and how it wants to come through. We know we're full, but how does it want to come through?
Yeah.
And it's following that joy that's connecting us to our inner child, that's supporting us to bring our creativity through. And then our adult is enabling those creativity gifts to be offered to the world in a form that can be received.
Yeah, and an adult in a way that is healthy and holds the child safely. So we're not talking about like a critical parent or something that, you know, we want to let go of those negative thoughts. So the adult comes in with beautiful structure to enable the child to flourish. I'm getting a really strong image of, you know, a child running along and jumping in puddles, and the joy that brings. And I've got images of doing it with wellies on, with bare feet, all the different ways and all the different feelings you get from that. And then at the end of that, your mum or your dad or your carer comes along and puts, you know, gives you a nice little drink and a snack, and it's that kind of stuff. So there's the structure there that you can fall into. There's a safe space, but you're also free to go and explore.
And it also ensures that we're not living in poverty, you know, that
that's true.
that there is someone holding the household,
Exactly.
taking care of bills, ensuring that we can continue to do what we want to do as a child. It's that balance.
And the adult is the part of us that does that. And so we're discovering more and more about these parts within us, which is incredible, because I think between us we've got probably over 50 years of experience, and it's still a learning journey.
I think especially in business for us, and what I'm loving, you know, it's like we go through our lives and we learn different, we go through different transformational gateways, you know, and I've done like many years into my feminine and into my embodiment, and then where I am now, it seems to be going through that gateway of the journey of business, which is connected to creativity, is connected to abundance. And I'm absolutely loving that we get to explore this in this life, because it's right for our souls, it's right for us now. And I know that what we're going to bring is coming from the core of our soul essence, and it's joyful and it's beautiful, and we can all do it. It's time. It's right.
Everyone can. Pick up your phone and make a video.
Or do whatever
you want
brings
to do.
you joy. And don't censor yourself. You don't need to be perfect. You know, that can grow as you get into the habit of doing what you love, and it just becomes natural. And then perfection is
don't worry about it. I think perfection is now in everything, with all the ups, downs, and what we perceive as mistakes is actually perfect in the moment. So let it all go and jump in that puddle.
When you completely connect to and become your child, it is absolute perfection. It is absolute perfection, because you're not thinking, you're not in your mind, you just absolutely are in your being and who you here to be. And that's so joyful, and so much cause to celebrate who we are and what's possible for us. So on that note,
jump in the puddles.
Yes, jump in the puddles.
Here's to redefining success.
So much love. So much love, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.